other is watching you. That line from George Orwell's classic 1984. It's fiction, but increasingly it feels like reality. Today, almost everything we do is tracked. Our phones, our browsing, our purchases, and even the vehicles we drive for work. This is the story of one man, an ordinary employee who hated being watched. And in trying to dodge digital surveillance, he ended up accidentally jamming airport systems, disrupting flights, and getting slapped with a $32,000 federal fine. Hey everyone, welcome to our show Dark Logs, where we pull back the curtain on the hidden world of cybercrime and the human stories behind the hacks. Each episode, we break down real cases, some shocking, some overlooked, but all of them important. This is episode 3, and let me now take you back to August 2012 in New Jersey. Meet Gary Bojczak. He worked as an engineer for a construction company called Tilcon. These folks are responsible for major infrastructure like the roads leading to the George Washington Bridge. Gary drove one of the company's many trucks, a red Ford F-150, to job sites around Newark. Pretty standard, right? But there was one thing he hated: the GPS tracking device installed in his company vehicle. Like many firms managing fleets, Tilcon used GPS systems to monitor where their trucks were. Efficiency, safety, accountability. For the company, it made sense. But for Gary, it felt like he had someone constantly peeking over his shoulder. Maybe he just wanted a longer lunch break. Maybe he didn't like being tracked every minute. Maybe it was about privacy. Whatever his reasons, he wanted out. Instead of complaining or asking for a different truck, Gary took matters into his own hands. He bought a GPS jammer, a cheap little device you can find online for under $100. You just plug it into your truck's cigarette lighter and it blocks GPS signals in the immediate area. No signals in, no signals out, no tracking. He thought this is perfect. No tampering with company hardware. It just looks like the GPS glitched for a bit, like he drove through a tunnel or hit a dead zone. So Gary plugged it in, turned it on, and went about his day. That same day, August 3rd, 2012, something went wrong at Newark Liberty International Airport. Their state-of-the-art smart path navigation system, used by pilots and air traffic controllers, suddenly started acting weird. It is based on GPS developed by Honeywell and helps manage safe flights into the airport. But now the signals were breaking up, interference, jamming. The FAA noticed it immediately. Planes could still land, but this critical system was failing intermittently. And the interference wasn't random, it kept happening whenever a particular vehicle passed by the airport. Guess who was working near Newark that day? Yep, that was Gary in his red pickup, jamming GPS signals around him without realizing he was also interfering with air traffic control systems. The FAA alerted the FCC, the government body that manages and regulates the radio frequency spectrum in the US. Certain frequencies are reserved for critical infrastructure, emergency responders, aviation, public safety. You can't just broadcast on those, and you definitely can't disrupt them. Gary's little jammer, it was doing just that. So the FCC sent one of their agents from New York City to Newark, armed with a handheld frequency detector. On the 40-minute drive, the airport's system was still being disrupted. That gave the agent a clue. This wasn't a moving vehicle passing by, this was something parked nearby. The agent arrived at the airport, turned on his signal tracker, and followed the interference. The device led him straight to a red Ford F-150, Gary's truck. He approached Gary and asked if it was his vehicle. Gary confirmed it was. Then the agent asked, "Are you using any radio frequency jamming devices?" And Gary admitted it. Yeah. The agent asked him to unplug it, and he did. And immediately the signal interference stopped. The mystery was solved. Newark Airport was back online. Gary was cooperative. He even handed over the device and told the agent where he bought it. But that didn't save him from the consequences. When his employer found out, they fired him, understandably. Not only was he blocking their GPS tracking system, but his actions nearly crippled a major airport's communication systems. Then came the fine. The FCC initially hit Gary with a $42.5K penalty, but since he cooperated fully, they lowered it to $32,000. First off, it is shocking that a $100 gadget from the internet could disrupt something as massive and regulated as an airport navigation system. This wasn't a terrorist plot or a hacker group. It was one guy trying to take longer lunch breaks without getting caught. But that's exactly what makes this story scary. If an ordinary person can accidentally cause that much disruption, imagine what someone with intent could do, with better equipment, planning, or worse motives. In a world filled with GPS, wireless signals, and interconnected systems, even small acts can ripple outward in ways we never expect. Gary didn't mean to cause harm. He just didn't want to be watched. But in fighting surveillance, he accidentally jammed a system that keeps planes safe in the sky. Let that sink in. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing, sharing, or leaving a review. It helps more than you know. And if you're watching this on YouTube, hit that like button and drop your thoughts in the comments. I would love to hear what you think. Until next time, stay safe, stay curious, and stay secure. Bye.